Final story is the WNBA. Caitlin Clark. Colin, did you see this last night? One of her teammates gets into a little bit of a dust-up, and then Caitlin Clark starts exchanging words. And looky here, Caitlin Clark starts clapping, and she was assessed a technical foul. Clapping.
Well, that's taunting.
I don't know. I mean, you watch the play like that. They're just jostling for position. This chick swings an elbow. Caitlin Clark's like, bleep up off me. Some comments are made, and she gets a tech for clapping. She was irate after this, Colin, mostly because if you get 8 technicals, you're suspended for a game. She now has 5. Here's Caitlin Clark afterward.
I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for clapping. So it's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice.
Love it, baby. Love the fire, the passion. Colin, you know me as a men's league player. I may or may not clap in somebody's face a couple times. I ain't getting no text for that. It's okay to be fiery.
No, that's taunting.
They're calling this taunting?
Yes, it is
Colin,
taunting.
this is embarrassing. You've banged on the refs in the WNBA for a few years now.
Well, I don't
They
think
need
it's
to clean this crap up. Come on, man.
All right, I got a big story breaking. J-Mac with the news.
Okay.
All right, let's unpack all of this as a collective topic. But before we dive in, Caitlin Clark fans, you all have been showing up in a massive way, and it's been absolutely incredible to witness. We're genuinely building something here, a real movement, and I'm telling you, it's gaining serious momentum. So please, please, please don't forget to subscribe and watch the full-length video. When you do that, the metrics go through the roof, views surge, subscribers climb. And look, it's not purely about chasing those numbers, though obviously I want the views and the subscribers. It's about being able to produce Caitlin Clark content that people genuinely want to engage with and discuss, so we can keep having the most unbiased, grounded, and honest conversations about the fever, about Caitlin, and about the WNBA as a whole. Watching the full video makes a massive difference, and I would truly appreciate it. You all hyped up one of my other videos and it landed on the top list of the hype section. I didn't even know that was a real thing. I checked my channel, saw it, and thought, oh, this is hyped in sports? A top video? I clicked on it and was genuinely confused about what was happening. But you've been absolutely amazing. It's great because I put out these extended post-game breakdowns and deep dive analyses, and honestly, I wasn't sure who would want to watch that. I'm literally going through pages of plays with my notes and timestamps, creating these lengthy, in-depth videos, And do you all watch them? It gives me chills just thinking about it. Meanwhile, random Caitlin Clark detractors have the audacity to claim that Clark fans aren't real basketball enthusiasts. That take always frustrates me because, first of all, they're literally watching people like me go through play-by-play analysis on YouTube. If that's not a genuine fan, I don't know what is. And if they say these fans don't understand the game, well, they're watching content like that to learn more. That's called expanding the fanbase. It's a positive thing. If you only want the purists, then congratulations, go back to the days when only 4,000 people watched the WNBA finals. Be my guest. Now, regarding the technical fouls and potential suspension, we know the NBA retroactively adjusts foul calls all the time. She should obviously have her technical rescinded, there's really no way around it. As for the chippiness, as long as nobody gets hurt, I never want to see anyone injured. I appreciate the physicality. We've discussed this at length before, especially when Caitlin was getting roughed up throughout the season. The WNBA needs to adjust its officiating approach. The NBA model works well, a tighter whistle during the regular season with more fouls called, then increased physicality in the playoffs. That structure makes sense. The WNBA needs a middle ground because it's a shorter season with more intensity from the jump. There's an 82-game NBA season with best-of-7 series, so the dynamics are different. You still want physicality, but it must be balanced. In terms of attitude and chippiness, the WNBA actually needs that. It adds entertainment value. The NBA doesn't rely on it as much, but I don't mind it either. I'm all for eliminating taunting, but there were moments in the playoffs where you want to see players express emotion. Not getting in each other's faces and screaming, but being able to celebrate a block or a dunk. When Heinz Ellen flexed after a foul, like she was Ben Wallace out there, I loved that. Sophie Cunningham pointing at opponents, the back and forth, even coaches trying not to smile because it's entertaining. That kind of intensity is energizing and fun to watch. The WNBA should be more lenient with that stuff, as long as there are no cheap shots or injuries. Angel Reese should take note with her 5 technicals. It all adds to the viewing experience. The WNBA season feels shorter and more concentrated, whereas the NBA is a long grind. Because of the structure and the number of stars, everything in the WNBA feels intense from the start. Last night's game had that playoff-level intensity that you don't always see in early-season NBA matchups. The WNBA needs to allow and even feed into that energy. I want to see Caitlin Clark screaming and clapping. That intensity is necessary because they can't dunk or deliver monster blocks like the NBA. Emotional intensity mirrors that physical spectacle, and I love it. I want a great product, and I want a low. The WNBA. The league has the opportunity to own the summer, to completely take over that window. It's wide open for them. So let the emotion and physicality be on display, within reason, obviously, while still maintaining high-quality basketball. Just be smart about how you handle things. Don't have Caitlin Clark take an elbow and get called for a foul. That's one of the most insane things I've seen all season. It's crazy that Clark already has 5 technicals and is facing suspension. That's going to be a bummer for fans. Oh, the Fever are playing? Great. Oh, Caitlin's not playing? Well, I guess I'll still watch, but it's not the same. She's essentially going to get suspended because there's no way she avoids another 3. And I don't want her to have to change who she is. That's what makes it fun and energizing. Last night's game was genuinely entertaining for many reasons, especially when things got chippy. Seeing Heinz Ellen, Sophie, and others all combined together, that's what the Fever needed. They've been disconnected. I made a video over the weekend asking if they actually dislike Caitlin Clark. It's not that there's hatred within the Indiana Fever specifically, though there's certainly some around the league. But with the Fever, there's not that true family bond or deep connection. Caitlin's always getting roughed up, and others aren't rising to defend her. Seeing everyone meet that physicality was so necessary. I compare the Fever to the Warriors more than anyone. When Klay Thompson told Draymond Green, "You let me and Steph BS," that's what I envisioned with Heinz Ellen and Sophie. But a lot of that faded. No one else rises to make the game more muddled, physical, or tough. That's indefensible. It's not about hurting anyone or being excessively physical, it's about meeting the other team where they're at. Last night against the Mercury, we actually saw that. When Caitlin took an elbow, I wanted multiple players immediately coming to her defense, pointing, letting the opponent know, try that again. Even if nothing happens, you can't leave Caitlin on an island, or any player, really. Defensively, there's no angst, urgency, fear, or anxiety. And usually those aren't desirable words, but on defense you need that edge. I compared it to losing your mom in a grocery store as a kid, that sense of panic when you realize someone's not covered. You should feel that on defense when you don't have a player picked up. If you're not covering anyone, someone's open, and you need to find them immediately. They don't have that urgency. It's the same with physicality and having a sense of family and culture. When Caitlin or Kelsey Mitchell takes a tough foul, whether you're on the bench or on the court, you should have an immediate reaction. Not running in to shove someone, but that moment where your back goes up and you're like, what's happening? You should feel it, process it, file it away for later. It should be printed in your soul. You need the all great teams have it, and we got glimpses of it last night, like when Sophie first got to Indiana and became an overnight celebrity. I'm not saying turn every game into WWE. Sometimes it's just yelling, pointing, getting head-to-head, letting them know, I see you. Try that again. If no one's there to protect you, the other team will keep doing it. The Fever get bullied a lot and rarely do any bullying themselves. And I'm not talking about negative bullying, I'm talking about traditional basketball toughness. You can be physical without fouling, without trash-talking. Just using your presence, size, and strength to let the other team know this isn't going to fly. You're not getting easy layups, you're not playing that physical on our playmakers. You need some bullies, some toughness. Even if Heinz Ellen's foul wasn't needed, I loved her intensity when she flexed, more than the foul itself. And Sophie getting that technical moment showed she actually cared, rather than just worrying about shots or TikTok fame. She had lost that disruptor mentality, that defensive identity. She needs to get it back. I know because I was that player, the Draymond Green for many teams. I lived for it, took pride in it, and earned my keep that way. That's why it's hard for me to watch lack of effort or understanding, because a lot of it is instinctual. I often think, what would Draymond Green do? He's an elite defender not because of size, but because of instincts and hunger. He just goes and goes. That's why I use him as a frame of reference. He's not an athletic freak like some other great defenders. He just understands how to do it. I want to see more Draymond Greens on the Indiana Fever. They need enforcers. Think of David West when he took a pay cut to join the Warriors. He made his presence known even without huge stats. That's what this team needs, players who make their presence known in various ways, not just by taking shots. Last night was a perfect example of that. Take note. Those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. What do you think about Caitlin Clark potentially being suspended? How should the league handle these situations? How do you feel about the intensity, the finger pointing, the clapping? Does it land for you, real basketball fans, not just Clark fans? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, whether you agree or disagree. Let's get into some discussions, maybe some debates, but ultimately, let's have some fun. Please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd love to see you part of it. I want to build something we all feel connected to, something we're excited to be part of. We're well on our way. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.